Good morning, students. Welcome back to your history class. Today we shall be doing 10th chapter of history, that is the expansion of the Maratha power. Children, the previous chapter, that is ninth chapter, the Maratha War of Independence. In that lesson, we have seen the struggle of Marathas against Mughals after the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Now here children will see in this chapter how did Maratha power expand. Children, at the beginning of the Maratha War of Independence, the Mughals were on the offensive, whereas the Marathas were on the defensive. Children, previously means at the beginning of the Maratha War of Independence, Mughals were attacking in the different areas of Marathas, while Marathas were protecting themselves. Marathas were just defending. This situation, however, was reversed at the end of the War of Independence. Later on, children, Marathas became offensive and Mughals were on the defensive. Okay. The Mughals were thrown on the defensive against the Marathas. In the latter half of the 18th century, the Marathas subdued the Mughals and extended the Maratha power to cover practically the whole of India. Children, we have seen how Mughals were ruling almost whole India. So here in the latter half of the 18th century, the Marathas brought the Mughals under their control, and practically they spread their power almost the whole of India. Now, children, the death of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb resulted into a war of succession between his three sons to the throne of Delhi. Aurangzeb's eldest son, Prince Azam Shah, declared himself the Mughal emperor and seized the throne. Children, Aurangzeb had three sons and they all were struggling against the power. Okay. So here Azam Shah actually he declared himself one of the son of Aurangzeb as the Mughal emperor and he seized the throne. And children, in the previous chapter we have seen that when Mughals attacked or seized Raigarh fort, that time Maharani Yasubai, wife of Sambhaji Maharaj, was protecting Raigarh fort, and at that time her son was there with her. Name of the son was Shahu. So children, we have seen they fell into the, as Mughals were very very powerful and they captured the Raigarh fort. So Yasubai and Shahu, these two were arrested by the Mughals. So children, at that time also Prince Shahu was in his captivity. Captivity means he was under the control of Mughals. So Azam Shah, when he ascended the throne, he believed that if Shahu Maharaj was released, there would arise a conflict between him and Maharani Tarabai for the Gaddi of the Maratha Chhatrapati. Azam Shah felt that this would sapped the Maratha strength and therefore released Shahu Maharaj. You know, children, Azam Shah, son of Aurangzeb, he thought that if he would release Shahu Maharaj, then there would be the conflict between Maharani Tarabai and Shahu Maharaj for the throne or for the Gadi of the Maratha Chhatrapati. And he thought that when there will be fight between these two powers, that is Maharani Tarabai and Shahu Maharaj, then Maratha power would become weak, and that is why he released Shahu Maharaj. After the release, Shahu Maharaj immediately marched towards Maharashtra, and he was joined by some Maratha Sardars. But Maharani Tarabai did not accept his claim to the throne. As children, Azam Shah was thinking, same thing happened when Shahu Maharaj marched towards Maharashtra along with some of the Maratha Sardar. Maharani Tarabai did not accept his claim to the throne. The armies of Shahu Maharaj and Maharani Tarabai fought a battle at Khed on the bank of the Bhima river. Shahu Maharaj won the battle. He captured Satara. He got himself crowned. He declared himself as the next Maratha Chhatrapati. Satara became the capital of the Maratha kingdom. For a while, the mutual opposition between Maharani Tarabai and Shahu Maharaj continued. Maharani Tarabai proclaimed her minor son Shivaji II as the Chhatrapati at Panhala in 1710 CE. You know, children, she was Maharani Tarabai, wife of Raja Ram, did not accept the claim of Shahu Maharaj, and he proclaimed her minor son Shivaji II as the Chhatrapati at Panhala in 1710. And this gave rise to an independent Maratha kingdom at Kolhapur beside the one at Satara. You know, children, Satara became the capital of Marathas. There Shahu Maharaj was ruling, and there was an independent kingdom which was created at Kolhapur under the leadership of Maharani Tarabai. The early part of Shahu Maharaj's life was spent in Mughal camp, so he had seen Mughal politics from close quarters, and he knew the finer points of Mughal and especially North Indian politics. He was knowing, children, you know that as he was captivated, as he was arrested by the Mughals and he was under their control, so he saw everything. He was knowing everything, the strengths and the weakness of the Mughal power very well. Also, he was acquainted with the influential people in the Mughal court, who all were very influential in the court of the Mughals. Everything he was knowing, and these factors help him deciding the new direction of Maratha politics in the changing circumstances. And Aurangzeb's successor had given up his policy of destroying the Maratha power. You know, children, when Aurangzeb was there, he was continuously in fighting with the Marathas, but when his son became the next emperor, so he gave up the policy of destroying the Maratha power, and at that time the Marathas adopted a new policy. Instead of fighting with the Mughal power, they decided to protect it and expand their own empire in that role. They believed that destroying an old temple is as good as building a new one. And you know, children, the Mughal power faced the threat of the Irani and Afghani invaders also. The northwest Irani and Afghani invader from the northwest, as well as local Rajput, Jat and Rohillas rulers also. Due to all these, the Delhi court needed the help of the Marathas. After Shahu Maharaj was released, the Mughals After Shahu Maharaj was released by the Mughals, he made Balaji Vishwanath a Peshwa. Children, role of Balaji Vishwanath is very very important to strengthen the power of Shahu Maharaj. Balaji hailed, he came from Srivardhan. Hailed means children, he came from Srivardhan in Konkan. He was competent, very able, very skilled and experienced. He convinced many Maratha Sardars that Shahu Maharaj was the real hero of the Maratha Empire and made them join hands with him. Children, Balaji Vishwanath, he convinced many Maratha Sardar that Shahu Maharaj is the real successor of the Maratha Empire, and he made them join hands with him. Kanoji Angre was the chief of the Maratha Navy. He chose to side with Maharani Tarabai and attack the territories of Shahu Maharaj. This gave rise to a difficult situation. Children, Kanaji Angre was the chief of the Maratha Navy. He was on the side of Maharani Tarabai, and because of that, the Marathas who were at the side of Shahu Maharaj were facing the difficult situation. At the time, Shahu Maharaj sent Balaji to fight against Kanoji Angre. Balaji avoided the war and won Kanoji Angre over to Shahu Maharaj's side. Children, he was such a diplomat. He was knowing how to convince the people, and without fighting, without having war, he won Kanoji Angre to Shahu Maharaj's side. Now let's see, children, Chauthai and Sardeshmukhi rise. After strengthening the position of Shahu Maharaj in Maharashtra, Balaji returned his attention to the politics in the north. And children, the Delhi court after the death of Emperor Aurangzeb was marked by bickering and confusion. There was no powerful Mughal ruler or after Aurangzeb, and there was a lot of confusion at that time. The Said brothers, that is Abdullah Hassan and Hussain Ali, became very influential, and with their help in 1719 Balaji obtained from the Mughal emperor the grants or sanas to collect Chauthai and Sardeshmukhi from the Mughal territory in the Deccan. Children, Chauthai means 1/4 of the revenue and Sardeshmukhi means 1/10 of the revenue. So Marathas collected this right, from the Mughal territory in the Deccan. After the death of Balaji Vishwanath, Shahu Maharaj appointed Balaji's son Baji Rao first the Peshwa in 1720, and he was very powerful, very skilled in his job. He expanded the Maratha Empire during his term of 20 years like anything. He defeated Nizam at Palkhed. As you know, children, Nizam tried to establish his separate existence at Hyderabad. The emperor had given the Marathas the right to recover Chauthai and Sardeshmukhi from the Mughal areas. Nizam was against it, and he captured some part of the Pune Pargana. Baji Rao decided to checkmate or to defeat the Nizam. He defeated Nizam at Palkhed near Aurangabad. Nizam accepted the Maratha right to collect Chauthai Sardeshmukhi. As the Mughal power had become weak, Baji Rao knew that there was more scope to expand the empire towards northern side. Children, as Mughals became weak and there was no other power who was as powerful as like Mughals, so at the time Baji Rao thought this is the time, there is more scope to expand the Maratha empire toward the northern side. And even Shahu Maharaj supported his policy. Baji Rao, he expanded the Maratha territory in Malwa also, which